I think we're live. And so, hello, welcome to show number 26. And so, how has the year started off for you? I have a hunch that you still have great aspirations of all of the things that you want to accomplish this year, and you've set up your goals, and already you might be falling short of what your intentions were. And so, if that might be you or someone that you know, then we're really glad that you're here with us because our show today is all about goals and freeing the blocks that are preventing you from achieving your goals. So I'm Holly Pitus, practitioner, and I'm here with Amber Salenbeer.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amber Salenbeer of Knots Inside Within, and I'm a certified emotion code and body code practitioner. And we are here today to help you clear your resistance, to help clear any limiting beliefs, or whatever blockages are stopping you from reaching your goals for 2021. We all start off the year thinking, what is it that I would like to accomplish in 2021? Maybe that might be, I want to lose weight. Maybe it's I want to exercise more, and then we really break it down into smaller goals. So to lose weight, maybe it's stop eating chocolate or stop eating cheesies or Skittles, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's I want to get more clients in my business. Okay, so what are some small goals that you have in order to accomplish that? And what we want to do is to help clear any resistances you have to, in order to get, clients, you might need to be more visible. So what is blocking, stopping you from being more visible in your business? Maybe it's, you know, I want to exercise more. Okay, so what is blocking, stopping, resisting you from working out 20 to 30 minutes a day or 3 times a week or whatever that looks like for you? It can be really anything that you have as a goal for 2021. We want to, get rid of whatever emotions are, you know, contributing to the limiting beliefs or that are, I call them anchors. So you have this limiting belief of, oh, I will never get fit. And what is really anchoring that belief in is usually an emotion. Maybe it's an emotion of worthless, or maybe it's an emotion of jealousy because you see all these other people who have done it, but you just can't believe that it can happen to you. And so we use the emotion code system from Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a retired holistic chiropractor. And he's created two systems in order to help really get to the root cause of whatever it is that is at, the problem of that you're having, whether it's in your health, whether it's limiting beliefs or in your relationships or in your business, in your money finances, anything will have a root to it. And so we, acknowledge what the symptom is and then clear whatever blockages are to release that symptom.
Yes.
So,
And so, yeah, we haven't talked about the 7 keys for a while. And although we are looking for some volunteers today, so let me see if I have.
I have mine.
Okay, so here we
Seven
go.
keys.
Right. And let me just say before you start on that, we would like to have you volunteer if there's something special that we can help you with today. So what we would need to do is have you type in the comments the problem, give us your permission, which is going to be implied by your typing it in there. And if you can give us a level of scale on 1 to 10. And so tell us, how is it bothering you? That is really bothering you, it's a 10, or it's just sort of a little annoyance and it's 2. And so let us know specifically what it is. When so you can say, well, maybe I don't want to eat so many sweets. Well, okay, but what we really need to know, because you're probably not eating every kind of sweet in the world. You're probably attracted to brownies or to, peanut butter cookies or something special. And sometimes people really need to even drill down on the brand. So it's not just any peanut butter cookie. It's like only a specific brand. And I think we've been doing a lot over the last couple of months in terms of working with procrastination and trying to relieve pain, and now trying to relieve blocks from moving forward. And sometimes sometimes those blocks again are really specific. So you can say, well, I'm really not organized, or I want to get better organized. Well, maybe everything is really organized. It's just your car that's a mess. Or maybe your car is perfectly organized and it's just, the first closet when you walk in your house that's really bad. Or maybe it's only your kids' toys or something like that. So lots of times I think we're pretty good in many areas, and then we just have this one stinker or two stinkers. We think everything is wrong because we're focusing on those stinkers. So that is what Amber and I are here to help you with, is to get rid of the stinkers for you and kind of for your blocks. So Amber, thank you so much. She has a lovely list of all of the different keys that we go through. And so Amber is excellent at explaining it to you, and for all of us. So I think Amber's going to go through that part next.
So in order to, first off, I welcome everybody who's watching us. Let us know who you are and where you're coming in from, because we'd love to hear from you. To have a successful session with either on our live or with Holly or myself, there are 7 keys in order to have that be a successful session. First, we use a magnet. So it can be any fridge magnet, it can be any special magnet, it can just be your hand. Because our hands are electromagnetic, we need a magnet in order for it to work. Then we need to be hydrated. So drinking water for both the practitioner and yourself, because it helps release that energy. We are made up of at least 75% of water, so it really helps to hydrate us. We use muscle testing in order to communicate with the subconscious to figure out what is at the root of whatever is blocking, stopping you, or at the root of your symptoms. So we need to make sure that we have our muscle testing is accurate. And so this is a yes and this is a no. What is the severity? So we like to know what the severity of what your problem is, because it gives you a way to rate it. Pain is really good in order to see, I started a severity of a 10 and now I'm down to a 5, so that you can see that jump down. Working on things such as goals, we start, what is that severity that you would really like to be at that goal, or that goal is causing an issue in your life? And then over the weeks, I have my clients rate it so that we're like, okay, so we're going down, because normally we can't see it on a day-to-day basis. We've got these blinders on. So by each time, if we rate it, we can say, oh yeah, you know what? It is going down. This is working. We can see progress. We need to have permission. I wouldn't enter into your house without permission. I'm not going to enter your energy field. So we need to have your permission in order to do so. We work by proxy. And what proxy means is that you can be anywhere in the world and we can be where we are, which I am in Ontario, Canada, and Holly is in Wisconsin. And so we connect, because we're all made up of energy. We're all connected, similar to how cell phones are connected. I can, be here in my house and I can call Holly on a cell phone, or we're connected over, Facebook. And so each of us is connected as well. And so by proxy, we use muscle testing to connect. We think of that person, we connect to their energy, and we can release through proxy. And then we have the good old emotion code chart. There are 60 emotions on this chart that we go through in order to find the ones that are blocking you. So maybe at, 14, somebody called you a not so nice name, and maybe you felt a little discouragement, and that discouragement would show up as an energy ball in your field and get trapped within the body. And that is what is, causing some of these symptoms. So those are the 7 keys to a successful emotion code practice. So we've got Summer is saying hello. Brittany is saying, hey, I've been procrastinating on writing stuff for emails and blog posts. And Preeti is saying health improvement. So if you could come up with, Preeti, if you want to say something specific about health improvement, that is your goal for 2021, we can certainly help you. Holly, if you want to connect to Brittany, she's been procrastinating on writing stuff for emails and blog posts, unless you have somebody on your page.
So I do have a couple people that had contacted me before the show. They weren't going to be able to be live with us today. And so they said that if I have time during the show that I should work on them, which I can do it. But Brittany, I am very happy to work with you. And so again, just to go over what you need to do, which I think you're already starting, is we need to have you say yes. We need to have you identify your problem and then give us a severity level. So, Brittany, did you give us a level of how difficult this is for your writing of your blog posts and emails?
She did not.
Okay. So, if you could just type that in, that would be great. At least we'll know where you feel like you were starting. And so are you, should I just go ahead and demonstrate? How about if I do my demonstration kind of out loud for Brittany today? I think that that Amber has some technical issues going on in
I
her
said,
background.
I I
But
have
you hear me
a
now.
5-year-old who would like to be on camera, and I'm like, we're not playing the 5-year-old TV show today. I mean, you know, here we are in the middle of a pandemic. I'm in lockdown, schools are closed, and now we get to, you know, work and parent and be the teacher and do all of the things. So it's going really well for our, you know, first day of our second week.
You know, it is just hard. And so I just, you know, my love goes out to everybody because this is just such a difficult time and nobody knows what to believe or when to believe it, or, you know, do I get the vaccine? Do I not get the vaccine? Are they going to inject a beeper into me or something? I mean, they just, you know, everybody doesn't really know, and everybody just wants to be able to walk down the street and hold hands with somebody and run into a friend and give them a hug or shake their hand. And I'm sure this will all be over soon, but it's been trying everybody's patience. And then there's been a lot of sadness for people who have lost people or people that have lost jobs. And I think all we can do is keep our fingers crossed and just hope for a really good future. So with that being said, I am going to go and connect with Brittany. And so I'm going to take a little sip of water. Brittany, if you can drink some water, that would be great. And so what I'm going to do, so I use the, it's known as the drawbridge. I got that from Michael Lozier. And so, so with muscle testing, and so our bodies will respond to things that are true and things that are not true. It's kind of how lie detectors work, that our bodies our bodies just have an energy and know what is true and honest and what is not. So if we're being true, we are very strong, and if we are not being true, then our whole energy level just dims. And so it's kind of like having, you know, the 100-watt bulb, and if you're not giving it the right power, it's just not going to shine as bright. So what I do is when I'm testing, if it's positive, my fingers are strong, and I could be holding a feather in my fingers, and so it will test really strong. And if it is not true or not a positive statement, then it goes right through. And so it's something that's a little bit different if you've never seen it before, but a lot of people use the kinesthetic muscle testing. And there are also many different styles to use. A lot of times people see someone, you know, having an arm out, and then, you know, your arm can test either very strong or it can test very weak. And some people rub their fingers together. There's there's one that there's some people that can do some very non-obvious testing. So like they'll just hold their mouth closed and they'll kind of wiggle their tongue inside their mouth, and that's how they get their negative and positive. So there's all kinds of things. So with Brittany, okay, so I am connected to Brittany, and so I'm going to be able to ask questions of Brittany, but I'm going to be using first person. So I'll be saying, okay, I have all of these emails to write, and I feel like there's something holding me back from getting them done. Is that true? And so I'm getting a yes, very definitely a yes. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, about how much how much am I procrastinating or being resistant or not doing it? So I think for the amount of resistance, is it at a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I'm getting a solid 8. So it's about an 8 for your resistance level. And so is there a trapped emotion that is contributing to this resistance or this lack of interest in being able to pursue these emails and things? The emails, the writing projects, the just getting things done on the computer. So is it a trapped emotion? Is it on the emotion code chart? Is it on the other chart? It's on the emotion code chart. Is it column A or column B? It's column A. Is it an even one? Is it odd, even, 2, 4, 6? So is it in column 2 and it's in column 6? Is it column 2? Sometimes I have to ask a couple of times to try to get a good reading. And what I'm doing by saying the columns, there's this chart behind me, which is the emotion code chart, and I'm using a smaller one just so that it's easy on my desk. And so I'm going for the column A or the column B. There are the 2 columns and there's 6 rows, and each one is divided into general categories. And so, and there's also some areas that are connected more to body parts. And so things like, your heart. And so some of the words in those areas are like abandonment or betrayal, lost, love unreceived. So it makes sense that it's tied to feelings of your heart, that you would be, if you're feeling betrayed, it's gonna affect your heart feelings. So as I'm going through with Brittany, so I'm in the column A, and is it row 2, row 4, row 6? Okay, it is in row 2. And so is it 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 2, 1. All right. So I'm getting that you have some feelings of anxiety. So that could be anxiety writing. It could be anxiety with the time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this feeling of anxiety. And then I have some more questions to ask. So is this anxiety mine? No. Is it someone else's? Are these some, is it hidden? Is it trapped? It's hidden. Is it absorbed? So I absorb something from someone else. All right. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to release many levels of the anxiety for you. So I'm going to release any hidden anxiety. I'm also going to release any absorbed anxiety, any hidden absorbed anxiety. Then I'm also going to go on and just release any type of vibrational resonance of anxiety, absorbed, and the compound anxiety. Also just going to do from a hidden standpoint, the hidden compound anxiety, hidden absorbed, and hidden vibrational resonance. And so, all right, so Brittany, let's see. So before I was feeling anxious about writing these emails and preparing my blog statements and things like that. And so do I still feel that way? No, did I release it? Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much anxiety do I have about writing my blogs? Is it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Okay, I'm getting a 0. So Brittany, I hope that you can, you may or may not feel anything. Sometimes people actually feel something during the session. They might get a little hot or sweaty or chills or feel tired. Or feel excited. And sometimes there's a little bit of processing that happens afterwards. So again, you might feel really giddy. You might have a burst of energy. You might need to go sit on the couch and take a nap for a little while. And so we never really know how we're going to respond to it. Some people actually don't feel anything. But hopefully you are going to feel completely inspired to be sitting down at your computer or with pen and paper or an old-fashioned typewriter, however it is you do it, and you'll just have this burst of creativity. So you had some anxiety about doing this. There's another component to having to be creative. And so I am going to also do something a little bit extra for you, and that is to release something called creative insecurity. So I'm going to release any type of creative insecurity, any hidden creative insecurity, any absorbed creative insecurity, any compound trauma creative insecurity, and any vibrational resonance of creative insecurity. Okay, so, and then I'm going to disconnect from you. So am I Brittany? Can I disconnect from Brittany? Can I go back to being Holly? So am I Holly? Am I Brittany? Okay, so I'm Holly. All right, fantastic. So I hope that that's going to spur you on to several days of just wild creativity and getting a lot of things done. I often find too that when the more you think about how it's going to be a great big project, or you don't know where to start or whatever, sometimes just starting is all you really need to do. When Amber and I were working on procrastination last fall, I found that I was just sort of naturally feeling more energized, and I would think, well, okay, normally I would want to leave that pile of papers there, but I've got a couple of minutes. Let me get this filed. Let me get that filed. Oh, and I've been going through the house, rearranging the furniture. Of course, like the super clean, you have to move the sofa or move the table or whatever to get really super vacuumed and everything under it. So while you have to move it out, you might as well move it around. And that too is kind of fun. My husband's actually not very fond of it, but I love moving the furniture around, and the fact that it just gives you a new perspective. And so that is something else too, Brittany, that if you are working in a certain place, a certain location, or can you make yourself a certain location where you're working instead of going from the dining room table to the kitchen table, to the floor in the family room or what have you. Find yourself a place or have something routine and special about it, so that you've got all of your little ducks in a row and have everything ordered, so that as you need to be creative, you don't have to worry about trying to find the pen and the paper and all of that.
Yes. So I worked on Preeti. She said healing of her facial nerves was her goal for 2021. So I cleared any resistance that you had to healing that, as well as you had a heart wall, which is an energetic wall of frustration. So I cleared all of that. Brittany said that it was about a 5, and that she's now feeling more ready to write after you worked on her. Summer Kids said a 5-year-old would do very nicely on Knots Untied TV. Yeah, this is my new joy, is to, I mean, he comes into my meetings a lot of the times, which is fine. I just, when it comes to being on, Facebook, I don't generally have my kids on Facebook. I don't put their photos up or anything. So I try very hard to keep him off of, Facebook. It's just one of my beliefs, but fortunately today he's really is a superstar. He'd like to be a superstar. That is like his goal. I think I've let him watch YouTube. I've got older teenagers, so they all want to be YouTube stars, so they have all the lingo down and everything like that sometimes. Judy says, hi again, I give permission, decluttering my life, but starting with my bedroom, a lot of emotional connected to throwing out old stuff. So I did go ahead and release, you did have some absorbed emotions, which I had cleared. A lot of abandonment came up. So I cleared that. Yeah, okay. So, okay, why don't you say hi? Hi. Okay, great.
Hello. So, what we're going to have to do is get him like one of the little nose and glasses with the mustache or something. so that he can be camouflaged. And in the meantime, I have connected with Erica, who is visiting us from Oakville. So hello, Erica. Thank you for joining us again today. And she has a goal of reducing some wine consumption. So I'm going to work with you on that. So, all right. So I've already connected. And so, wanting to reduce this interest in wine, reaching for the wine, doesn't matter if it's red or white. We're just gonna, doesn't matter if it's room temperature or ice cold. And we are going to reduce this. And so is this an emotional, is this something on the emotion code chart that's attracting me to wine? And is it in column A or column B? It's in column A. Is it even? Is it odd? Is it even? It's 2, it's 4, it's 6. It's column 6. Is it 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5? So is it mine? Is somebody else's? It's mine. Okay, so for Erica, we're going to release a feeling of humiliation. We're going to release a feeling of jealousy and release a feeling of longing, excuse me, release a feeling of longing. And we're also going to release any type of hidden humiliation, hidden jealousy, hidden longing, any karma trauma, humiliation, jealousy, longing, releasing absorbed, jealousy, longing, and releasing vibrational resonance. Humiliation, jealousy, and longing. Okay, so before I was wanting to reach for a glass of red wine or white wine, and am I interested in it anymore? No, not really. So I can just like give it up and not really have any. Okay, so we're going to be able to reduce that. So what's my desire for a glass of wine? Is it a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm getting a 0, Erica. I'm also going to, release from Erica. So I'm releasing. So am I Erica? Am I Holly? Okay, so I'm back to just my energy system. And so Erica, I was able to connect with you really easily because we've connected before. And so that is really great. And so without being able to ask you a whole lot of information, I did it for both red wine and white wine. Sometimes people have a real strict preference of, they only want, and an oak Chardonnay, like an oak barrel Chardonnay from the Sonoma Valley, or they only want to have, a special wine that's grown, like maybe they only like Argentinian wines or Australian wines or things like that, have like a Shiraz from Australia. So hopefully this will cut down your consumption, or just cut down that desire to reach for a wine. But if you are kind of brand specific again, then that might be something that if it's not just every wine, it's just this one particular label or a particular region or a particular grape. So do let us know how you do with that, Erica. So, hey, I think that this has turned out great. So we are now to the end of our time. It's our half an hour has gone really fast, but make sure you come back and join us again next week. We're here every Monday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern. And we're going to see what kind of antics Charlie is up to next week. And hopefully
we are not.
I think, yeah, Charlie's going to be somewhere else next week, but sweet and wonderful. He's a, I don't know. I think you just got to love him a whole bunch because he's the cutest little thing in the world. So anyway, Amber also goes live on Wednesday nights, and she goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern. And so she does both emotion code and body code, and she's live for an hour. And so she does a really interesting job. So you should definitely tune in, see what she's up to. And then I am certified in my emotion code, and I'm actually training right now for the body code. So I'm looking for volunteers. I need a couple of test subjects to work on for the body code. So you can definitely let me know your interest. You can either PM me through the Get Feeling Better page, or just type in a comment that you'd be interested in being one of my test people for the body code. And then you can, of course, find everything you need to know about me on Get Feeling Better. And so it's Get Feeling Better on Facebook. I just started an Instagram. I also have my website, which is Get Feeling Better. And then Amber has Knots Untied Within. And so she is also just redesigning her website. And then she's also available on Instagram and Facebook. And again, that's all Knots on, not Nuts Untied. Sorry, Knots Untied. Knots Untied Within. So I was kind of talking a little fast there. I'm getting a little tongue twisted. But and again, you can find us also through our names, either Amber Salambier or Holly Pitus. And then thank you for joining us for our 26th show. And we hope you have a lovely week. And we just really hope that you'll be able to come back and join us again next week.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.